of light data, light codes, into the earth. And that if you touch a tree...
I just woke up recently, so excuse the appearance, but do y'all remember the historical Buddha and the story of how they reached enlightenment? Right, it was from meditating underneath a Bodhi tree with their back against the tree. And do y'all remember how in the 60s and the 70s people were doing psychedelics and they started talking to trees, hugging trees, protesting on behalf of, the environmental climate change stuff with, not cutting down forests, having themselves chained to trees so they wouldn't be cut down, going into forest or deserts and walking barefoot, laying naked in the grass or in the forest, and celebrating together in nature. Do y'all remember that? And do y'all remember when the people who were protesting in Atlanta and, charged with RICO for not wanting a whole forest to be cut down, and a protester got for sitting peacefully near trees so they wouldn't be cut down? Do y'all remember that? Visit this website for more information, but this is the science behind grounding, as you can see here on the branches of the tree. These are scientific benefits of grounding outside with trees, with the grass, with nature. Which is what brought me to this picture. Siddhartha Gautama meditating underneath a Bodhi tree. And you could just look these up on ecosia.com if you would like a plant-friendly, environment-friendly search engine site, Ecosia, instead of Google, Bing, whatever search engine. But you can see these, statues and pictures that are there today to represent meditating underneath a tree. And look at how beautiful and big that tree is in the background. Like, my goodness, a sign within a sign. And to what I was saying about the people who were chaining themselves to trees, I saw this while I was researching pictures, but there was a whole cherry tree resistance movement in 1938. And this is actual pictures of the people who were protesting back then were, as you can see, chained to the trees in their luxurious furs and their clothes and, expensive accessories. They made it a point to be with the environmental activist. To now speak on what I was sharing in the last part of the clip. This was from the protest for Cop City. As you can see, the information is here. It says what happened, the location, and the person who was killed. Just literally sitting, standing, meditating in that forest. And they were, as you can see, there's a picture there, but they were a Venezuelan environmental activist and eco-anarchist, and they were killed by troopers during the Stop Cop City movement in Atlanta. 2023, this is very recent. So I'm just saying, if you meditate with the trees, meditate underneath the tree, ground outside with the trees, you actually start to form a relationship. And like that first video, which is what inspired me to even make this, because putting all this together, it's like, of course the trees are alive. Of course the trees can heal you. Of course the trees can enlighten you. It's literally, confirmation right there. It's literally grounding the information from the higher realms, from the higher spaces to the earth. Right? There's different ecosystems within the roots of the tree and the branches of the tree. Right? They help clean the environment with fresh air, fresh oxygen for us to breathe. We breathe it out and they purify it and clean it and put it back into the environment for us to breathe. We are connected. We're all connected. All right? So what they're talking about with the, to make it more political, I guess, is what they're talking about with the, things that are happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo and the atrocities happening there. Please look it up. Please look it up. Please look it up. It's terrifying, right? But the Democratic Republic of Congo is the world's second lung. And the Amazon rainforest is also a part of the world's lung, the earth. The two lungs of the earth, right? Guess how much colonization and attack those places are under. Obviously, I'd have to make a whole nother video to talk about that, but let me show you something that I found while making that video that I actually got a warning from my account because it was misinformation. And this is what I'm referring to. I got a warning, not a strike. They're like, it's a warning the next time you get a strike. But this is the video I did on Sangre de Grotto, aka Dragon's Blood. But this is a plant native to the Amazon rainforest. And y'all can see, like, literally, the viewership is crazy sometimes. They really push what they want to push on this app. But anyway, this is what they sent me. And they're like, oh, you know what? It's misinformation. Your video was removed. And I appealed it, right? But this is what they put. You can pause it if you want to read it. Anyway, I posted the full video on my YouTube, but it has this as the banner. So if you go to my YouTube, you can see the full video that TikTok decided to say was misinformation. So this is what it looks like on the thumbnail. Alright, so Sangre de Grotto is a tree that grows in the Amazon region of South America. The tree and sap are used to make medicine. And you can stop and read it because, again, TikTok wanted to say this is misinformation, but this is the information. Now, that led me to look up Amazon forest and the deforestation that is happening currently because, get this, and you could read, very recent article here from this year, they want to have a climate summit next year, so they cut down a chunk of the Amazon rainforest to build a 4-lane highway. Alright, the COP30 Climate Summit. They cut down parts of the forest to build a highway for these officials and elites and leaders to have this meeting on climate change and environmental impacts. Isn't that amazing? Now, again, you can research this yourself, look up the article, read it, have fun, do all of that, right? But it shows on the map. Like, this is the literal map. Forget this, right? Whatever. Forget that. Whatever. But you can look up on other websites, like, literally, it is showing from the native people that are indigenous and live in that forest, how their land, their crops, everything they're growing, it just doesn't matter. They're speaking out about it doesn't matter because this is what their government wanted to do. For a COP summit. So again, it really makes you think how much of, what we've been told about the forest and building and infrastructure is actually just them trying to disconnect us from intelligence and higher learning and connecting with nature to naturally get the information that we need instead of being told the information. Do with that what you will.